What is going on, everybody? My name is Jay. This is Unplayable, and I'm here with Mike to do something insane. The first ever in SWU history, I think.
I
Reaction
hope nobody's done
content.
this trash.
Yeah. Reaction content, baby. And today we are going to be reacting to Mike Jim, aka Bobby Sapphire from the KTOD, his to buy or not to buy video in relation to Jump to Lightspeed Set 4 for Star Wars Unlimited. Are you ready to break this down and tell him how trash he is?
Yeah, absolutely.
Trash takes. We have not watched this, by the way, so this is going to be fresh off the press
Fresh
reaction
opinions.
content.
Yes. And I will be clear up front that Mike Jem is much smarter than I am. So at this game. So
And this is definitive information from
yeah, this
us.
is financial advice, not for
Yes,
educational purposes only and entertainment
exactly.
purposes. This is the truth. So
Yep. And go ahead and start off. Already a great pick. He put Death Star plans are spoiler
perfect. Right in the middle of
in
that
the
thumbnail.
right in the middle, thumbnail and everything. So yeah,
Awesome.
already off to a great start. All right, let's roll the tape.
Let's roll it.
Let's roll the footage.
Boy, Bobby Sapphire, and tonight we are going to talk about one of my absolute favorite aspects of card gaming: how not to spew value on cards. We're going to talk about Jump to Lightspeed, what to buy, what not to buy. We're going to cover every single legendary, box prices, singles prices, everything you need to make sure you don't overspend on Jump to Lightspeed. Let's check it out.
What a presenter!
I know.
What an absolute presenter! You would think he's a teacher or something. Coach.
Yeah, you would think that.
He just has such a
Doing
way.
this.
Yeah. All right. See what he says.
All right, if you know me or you've followed me talking about this topic before for this game or any previous games, I am not a fan of ripping packs because of value. I have bought a case of every single.
He's not wrong there, Coach. He's not wrong there.
As someone who has bought how many cases?
Yeah, as a pack ripper, I'll tell you what, I don't do it for the value. I do it because I have an addiction.
I went from buying so many boxes of set 1 to like I bought nothing.
Yeah,
for set
I've
3.
just like dwindled as it went. I think I bought 6 cases for set 1, and then 4 for set 2, and then 2 for set 3. So we'll see if I buy 0 for set 4.
To be fair, set 1 actually was probably
that was the one to do it for, but
right.
Also I didn't sell any of my cards, so it didn't really matter.
In fact, he gave away cards,
yes,
aka to me and David and Jim, so that we could play.
Yes, that's value to me though, 100%.
Exactly. All right.
Single set of Star Wars Unlimited, but I have not opened all 6 boxes of any of them. I just can't bring myself to do it. And I actually think that Jump to Lightspeed is probably the set that I want to open least, even though I'm really excited for what it's bringing to the meta. It has a lot to do with the inherent value of the cards.
Make it worse,
I'm tracking this, and you can go over to Porg Depot, link in the comments here or in the description, where he's tracking prices of singles and boxes. But the big takeaway from set 4, now that we have almost every legendary, hopefully by the time you're seeing this, we have every single one. But the legendaries are bad. Like, they're really bad. We're going to talk about every single legendary later in this video, and I'll tell you why I think that. The next thing on the list is that because they added 4 legendaries, there's now 20 legendaries in this set. There's fewer hits. I think they're going to appear more frequently in boxes, but just think about all the boxes you've opened or seen that don't have any of the good legendaries in them. When there's only 1 or 2, like set 3, if you didn't get a Cad Bane or now there are 2 of them, you probably were pretty sad. I think it's going to be worse in this set. Next, Carbonite is going to devalue the legendary cards. Those stamped cards, the prestige cards, they're all named ships. And by my count right now, I think we have 11 out of the 36 numbered cards are legendary. So people are going to be going not for the regular legendaries, maybe the hypers, definitely not the foils, but people are going to want the prestige legendaries, which is going to further devalue regular boxes of Lightspeed.
Yeah, I want to pause here real quick.
Go ahead and pause the footage, Coach. Let's break these points down one by one.
All right, let's go. All right.
So the first one, we haven't done our tier list yet, so we can't spoil anything for you folks, you fine folks. But I will say the legendaries, there's no way they're worse than set 3.
I agree with that.
But that's not a high bar, so they could still be bad.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what his reasoning is for each of the cards that he goes through, because I certainly trust his opinion, but I also feel like the legendaries are better than set 3. But set 3s were really bad, so maybe it's not enough better. But the point that I agree with the most, well, I guess let's talk about the fact that there are more total
Yeah.
legendaries. That kind of
Do
goes in
you
both
do you know the
directions.
math behind if you increase the amount of legendaries and then also increase the rate that they hit, if what the stats would be if about actually getting good hits?
I think it depends on how many good hits there actually are within that pool of 20 legendaries. Like if
Right.
there is one good legendary out of 20, it's worse than if there's one good legendary out of 16,
Sure.
because you see it less frequently. Like this happens in Pokemon cards where like the hit rates are like, you know, one in however many packs, but there's like 50 different versions of like the, you know, super rare secret or whatever card that you want.
Sure.
So it's like, you know, you have a 1 in uh 30 to pull that like tier, and then you have a 1 in like 25 to like pull the specific one that you want, and it
Yeah.
makes the cards that are worth, the cards that are better makes those worth more, and the cards that are worse makes those worth less. So it like
Hmm.
kind of creates a bigger gap in terms of the values. And then the last thing, the carbonite devaluing legendaries, I said this since the beginning of when we talked about carbonite packs, like this is inevitable. Like the legendaries are not the chase cards, the carbonite packs are the chase cards.
And the
So
fact that there's 11 legendaries
yeah,
in the
so it
Carbonite
dilutes the
boosters.
pool of legendaries. I like, I guess, okay, we're saying that there are 36. Is it confirmed that there are 250 of the serialized cards of each? Is that the
I'm
number?
not. I think there's 250. Yeah.
Okay, so 36 times 250. At, so there's more than 9,000 total boxes, or I guess packs. Okay, that's actually not that many. There's only
It's
9,000 total packs that contain those cards.
but there's also legendaries that aren't.
Right, that aren't the serialized, because they have 3 different
Right.
tiers, right? And then there's also the hyperspace, also the foils, also the hyperfoils. So,
It
yeah,
also depends on how many of the Carbonite packs are in the wild,
right.
which there was like a leak that supposedly said there's going to be like 80,000 boxes, which isn't very many.
Mm,
But also the cost of them, I think, should probably bear some uh uh like value here, right? Like if those Carbonite legendary cards are going for $100, then not everybody's gonna be buying those, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's true.
I mean, I'm not saying it's
I,
not gonna devalue the L's because I think it still will, but
yeah, yeah. I don't know how much like the supply and demand actually affects, and like I don't know how much it dilutes it based on just like the number of cards that exist. I think it just makes it less attractive to own just a normal legendary versus one of these cooler versions.
totally. Yeah. Yep. And it depends on how many players we end up getting over the course of the time too. Like if
Yeah,
we have more people and there's less legendaries out there on the market, I mean, that'd be nice.
yeah.
But yeah, I think I definitely agree with his take here.
It's an interesting problem too if your legendaries aren't valued very high, because then it makes opening normal packs like way less exciting,
Hmm.
which means that they really need to push draft if they want to sell as many packs as they want to sell.
100%.
So
100%. And this makes it even worse if your legendaries suck.
yes. All right, well, let's see how much they suck.
We know Carbonite's going to be pretty expensive. And finally, weak
Oh, fourth point.
showcases. Like we're projecting a lot of these leaders
Oh,
to
he doesn't
not
like
have
piloting.
a ton of impact in set 4. Confirmed with FFG that Bamboozle does return a piloted leader back to the leader position on the board. So Bamboozle's a free way to kill all these piloting leaders, except for I guess like Luke and Poe can kind of get around it. But regardless, I'm not really high on any of these showcases gameplay wise. The last thing I'll caveat this all with is like, if you love cracking packs, or you love these characters, or you love collecting, by all means, buy all this stuff. I am not saying don't do that. I'm talking about from a competitive perspective. Do we need these cards to compete competitive Star Wars Unlimited? My answer is I don't think so. At least not a lot of them. But let's talk about a little bit more about pricing, and then talk about the cards you should be buying. All right,
I
big
like the
shout out to
framing
the
here.
Port Depot and Obi-Wan over there who's been tracking legendary prices for months now. And as you can see on the chart, most legendary prices are trending down. Shadows of the Galaxy actually kind of on a little bit of an uptick. We're going to talk about it, but like some of the Shadows legendaries have actually gotten better. But Twilight legendaries have tanked. Spark legendaries have tanked. A lot of that has to do with reprint, but also a lot of it has to do with the fact that as more cards come out, some of those legendaries that were baller in the first two sets have kind of fallen by the wayside. But check out Pork Depot. He updates this weekly on Thursdays, I think, with legendary prices.
I didn't know about that
I've been
site.
looking at
That's
box
cool.
I
prices.
find it really
and
interesting
right
that
now, Spark
Shadows has
Rebellion
gone
going for
up.
Yeah, I wonder what are those legendaries that have gone up in price?
Cad Bane for sure, right?
Wait, is he?
Oh no,
He's
he
in
said
set
3,
3.
isn't he?
Yeah. What's that? Darksaber.
Crate.
What else? Yeah, Crate Dragon, Poe. Trying to think back. I have a really bad memory.
It's not like we did a tier list or anything.
No, it's not.
Huh.
86 a box, not too bad. $5.29 for a case. It's about the same price. That's in large part due to the fact that the legendaries in set 1 are completely insane. Look at the top 2 rows of this screen. Every single one of those cards, except for maybe Command, has been a 3 of in a major meta competitive deck, at least for a portion, if not all,
on the bottom row.
The competitive life of this game. And only Aggression out of the double moded cards has seen little play because Mono Red has seen such little play. And then really Force Lightning, Black 1, Change of Heart. Force Lightning and Black 1 haven't seen much play at all. Mace and Change still see play. But almost all of the legendaries for set 1 are playable, even through set 3, and will be for set 4.
I don't really even see Darth Vader that much.
No, I don't see it very often anymore. I'm very sad that Force Lightning doesn't see play. It's such a cool card.
It's an interesting one.
I'm gonna try playing it more.
I wish there was, in general, there was more Force villain decks. It's like I feel like all the Force Energy decks are just hero
blue,
cards.
red hero.
Or,
yeah.
Or even yellow now. Like yellow does
right,
some...
with Quinlan Boss and stuff.
So,
and a lot of these probably for set 5 and 6 as well. And then Shadow's prices really aren't that far behind Spark. Around $80 this week for booster boxes. I couldn't find any sold cases, and we saw on the previous chart the legendaries kind of on the uptick, and that's because a lot of these legendaries in the set are actually pretty good. Shadows had a bum rap for a while, but Snoke, Kylo's Tie, Poe, DJ, Krayt Dragon, Darksaber, those have been meta staples for the last 2 sets. And then some of the other cards on this list, specifically like Kylo, the Mandalorian.
I still love Kylo.
Very strong cards, aren't used that often, but definitely strong in the right deck. We've seen also, Endless Legions be built around. We might see more of that. And then I've always liked Final Showdown. Evacuate could see some play.
But the top
so
row
these are perfectly fine
super
cards.
Playable.
Those are the bangers.
But look at the prices for Twilight of the Republic. $300 for a case. $314.
Okay, pause the footage.
For a case. That was
this
a month
is
ago.
Such a disappointment considering that this is probably the most widely accepted and loved era.
It's like the most hyped
Star
theme
Wars.
of it is. And I got this
exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. So what you would think people would be wanting to buy this simply because of the theme.
Yeah.
And that goes to show you how trash this set was.
Yeah.
Coach?
I don't think the keywords were very interesting, and I also think
I don't know. I think Exploit was cool.
I think Exploit's cool, but it doesn't seem like people have really unlocked it yet.
It's way too niche because we're not getting more exploit stuff in the next set, as we've seen. And it's like Count Dooku is only Separatists, and it's like you're not gonna build a deck if we're not getting more Separatist cards, and then it's not even good.
We are we're getting some good stuff for Dooku, but I feel like the payoff cards in the set on both sides, Exploit and Coordinate, were just not good enough.
Yeah, agreed. And then the leaders are kind of donkey. All right.
Go. And then $60 a box. And if you check Obi-Wan's site, Pork Depot, he's actually tracking those at even less than 50. I know that they've just been giving them away at all these PQs and showdowns. and I don't even want to open them anymore.
They
I
also
just
could have
ended up
printed
giving them
just,
away,
like, an
and that's
absolute
because, as I
massive
mentioned
amount.
before, these legendary cards are just
Yeah.
bad. They're not being
Look at
played in
these.
any meta decks. Cad Bane is seeing some play, generally in Cad Leader, as is now there are 2 of them, but these cards aren't seeing a ton of play elsewhere.
I had high hopes
Sure,
for now
here
there
or
are 2
there.
of them,
Yeah, I
and
did
it just
too.
didn't pop off.
Yeah, it's too inconsistent, I think. And then I thought General Grievous would be played more, but maybe it just doesn't really fit into the blue villain decks that exist right now.
There's just not, there's not a lot of blue villain decks. It's like Bosk Blue. Like, you're
Yeah,
not
or
playing
like
it in that.
Kira or like one of those. But it's like, is that what they want to be doing on this
Right.
this resource turn? But
And then Ahsoka, like, come on, that.
yeah, it's sad that she's so trash. Yeah, this is a weird one. Like we did not do a tier list for this set for many reasons. The
Mhm.
main reason being that Jay and I were both kind of burnt out by the time that made sense to do it. But I'm kind of glad that we didn't do it at this point because they it would just be
Yeah.
all bad.
Ayla, I think Ayla is a good card. She just doesn't have a deck. Like,
Yeah,
there's so many better ECL options in red hero or green hero.
hmm
Or, I mean, usually you're playing those together. I think she goes into a deck that's like a Luke green, where it's like more controlling and you're trying to keep coordinate online and try to kill their stuff without losing your unit or something like that.
yeah,
And that just doesn't exist right now.
yep. All right.
Ayla in an ECL deck, Darth Maul in an ECL deck, but like I haven't seen any Grievous, very little Kiadi-Mundi. And beyond that, we could see a Chancellor Palpatine deck with these X-Wing tokens. But the rest of these cards, just not seeing any play at all. And that's what's led to that low price of the Twilight boxes.
All
And
right,
what's
so
really
we've got
alarming is
sets 1,
that
2,
off the
and 3.
bat, JTL
Now we
is
gotta see
trending
the
below
set
Yep.
4
Mark of Rebellion
legendaries.
and even just a little above Shadows and Twilight, in that 85 maybe $80 range. But my problem with this set is I only see a handful of legendaries that we actually want to buy 3 of right off the bat. And that's more than Twilight, but not by much.
Yeah, here's a question.
At least with Twilight, you
I
had
guess
some
we'll
cards
wait.
that people were
Okay.
a little hyped on at the beginning. A lot of these big ships that we're seeing as legendaries in Twilight, I am not so hyped on, although we did get a pretty spicy one. All right, we're going to go through every single
All right, so far,
legendary. We're jumping.
I think we agree with most of what he's saying.
Yep.
Yeah. My question is, with set 4, 1, if people take this advice and they don't buy that much of it, right? And if all of the good cards in the set, which I don't know, I'd have to go through, but if all the good cards are the rares, and rares are selling for like $5 to $10 a piece,
Yeah,
that would be kind of cool.
That would be kind of cool. I kind of like that breakdown if it's real and if that exists.
All right.
Still keeps box prices like higher and keeps value in those packs, but yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, you don't get like the $80 random legendary.
Right. Yeah.
To Lightspeed, I'm going to give a little blurb and then my guess is to the price. Annihilator is a niche control card. It has a really strong effect. Kill something and then remove it from their hand and their deck. You get to look through their deck, which is like always a baller move. For any card with that unit's name and discard them, that means like if they're playing 9 Han Solos or 8 Darth Vaders, you get to take them all. Imagine a deck that just has 8 different versions of Han Solo or the Millennium Falconers. You're just absolutely decimated. You're annihilating it. Right now, I'm going to say off the bat, because this thing is so freaking expensive, it's going to be about $6. But if we get control heavy meta, maybe people want to be taking 11 life to play this card in their Iden decks or something with Galactic Ambition. I could see this jumping. This is a really spicy card, but the cost is just putting it out of range for me. Next up is the GOAT.
On that one.
Yeah, what do you think about that?
I think that one will be good too, like you said, if control, like in a control mirror, and you're able to just strip their Avengers, all of their Avengers, as soon as you play this, or like strip all their Decimators or Devastators. I think that's really cool. So I do think this card is good.
Yeah.
That.
It's at the very least like a sideboard control card for the mirror. And
the question is,
people always play control.
right,
So
right.
it's just, how many of those players exist and how many people are going to be playing like blue control decks in this upcoming set, which seems insanely fast.
That's what I was gonna say. Is what are the odds that blue control ever gets actually to be able to be played?
Can they put enough roadblocks in place and heal enough to get out of range of something like
is $6? Or do you agree with $6?
I wouldn't be surprised.
All right,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say $5.
What's the value of Avenger right now?
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna say $6.01. I'm gonna do the Price is Right
the over
rules.
under. Yeah. Okay. Let me look at Avenger.
Avenger's expensive.
It's
like $10, I think, at least.
Avenger. Yeah, it was $15.
Yeah, $15.
So Mike thinks that this is like a third ish of the price of an Avenger. I think maybe there's a little bit more than $6. Maybe there's like a $7 or $8 card.
All right, so 601 is what we're calling.
All right,
and we're gonna check all these after the fact.
We'll do a reaction to this reaction video once we know the prices. Perfect.
Yeah, and luckily
we know how this YouTube game is played.
We're going after him, so we can just do 1 cent more than he does.
Exactly.
We're good.
This is a really spicy card, but the cost is just putting it out of range for me. Next up is the Ghost. It's a bad theme card. We already have a Ghost, and I think the other Ghost is like better than this one.
I agree. This card
the strength,
sucks.
but keeping things out on the board in this game is pretty tough. Is this going to be a Twin Sun staple? Maybe,
No.
But
what Twin Suns deck are you running this in?
You're running it in like 6 years when you can run
when we have
100
specters. Yeah. Right. You're not playing this right now.
No, probably not. I kind of don't disagree with this. This is
terrible.
It's very niche. Like
$1 super low though.
You
so
really
I'm gonna go with $1.01.
Okay. You can't go wrong really if you go with $1.01.
No.
There's enough Hera stands out there that'll boost this price up to 1 cent higher.
I don't know. I think this is going to be a $1 legendary. I think it's pretty bad. Nebula Ignition is an unplayable coaster. This is going to be 50 cents. If it's anything, the hyperspace is going to be sick. The art, you can already tell, looks absolutely nuts. But unfortunately, people are going to want this.
I think this might be a little bit better than he's giving it credit for.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. It's so niche.
A hero control deck like Yoda or something that just doesn't play units.
You need an effect like this because you don't have Super Laser Blast.
Exactly. Yeah. I think that's cool. Or even like in my Mando deck where my leader is going to be upgraded, so I don't have to worry about him dying. After I play Evacuate, I don't have any of the upgrades on their characters. They play their stuff back down, and I followed up with Nebula Ignition or something.
You know why this card's so bad is because we don't have Disaster Synergy yet.
Yeah, exactly why.
just wait for that Disaster Synergy, guys. This is gonna be a $50 card.
I still don't think it's good though. It's not gonna see play.
No,
I'll go with 51 cents.
Unfortunately, this is one of the 4 legendaries that I opened up on that stream.
Yes.
And the other one I think is equally as coaster-ish. It literally says unplayable coaster. So
we should make unplayable coasters.
Yes, we should.
That would be wicked. Yeah.
If you want that, let us know in the comments.
This is underneath my drink. All right, Executor, Executor for all you nerds, but I've always called it the Executor because when I was young, I was even more of an idiot than I am now. This is another 11 cost Superstar Destroyer, and this time you get 3 TIE Fighters when you play it, when you attack, and when it dies. It's got Overwhelm. So while it's really expensive, I think it could see some crazy play in a ramp deck. I'm going to guess $4. That might be a little low. This could creep up to the 6 that Annihilator has. It really just depends on if ramp is a thing and if we need it. Because
I think this card
does ramp really need to go above deck?
It's terrible.
Yeah, I really don't like this card.
Even in a heavy ramp Piet deck, this card still sucks.
Wouldn't you rather just play something else at this cost? Is it? Shouldn't I just play Crate Dragon for?
That's what I was gonna say. I would rather play Crate Dragon.
It also has Overwhelm, and it kills your opponent when they play cards.
And it's a 10/10.
Yeah, but I guess how much is a Crate Dragon, and can that be like a the budget person's Crate Dragon?
No, it can't.
Crate Dragon's $14. I don't like this card. maybe I'm just not seeing it, but I think this is like a $3. I like $4 is not that unreasonable necessarily because it is a pretty iconic like ship. So you might get people wanting to buy it just to have it, but who knows?
I'm gonna go with 1 cent on this one. I think it's gonna be less than $4. So as long as it's less than
You're not even
$4,
giving. Okay. Oh, I see.
then I win.
Gotcha. Okay, I dig it.
Devastator, the green one? I don't think so.
Oh, another coaster.
Here's another coaster in case you have 2 drinks on the table. You get Scramble Fighters, create 8 TIE Fighter tokens, and
These were literally the 2 cards that I opened.
Yep.
Nebula Ignition Scramble Fighters.
You had 4 legendaries. What were the
Yeah,
other 2?
I had 2 other ones. One of them was one of the good ones.
I guess we'll see when we get to it.
Yeah, and then I'll have to remember what the other one was.
ready them. They can't attack bases this phase.
Garbage.
I don't know why
I
we're
hate
playing this. I haven't figured that out yet. It's possible that we want to play a couple Malevolences for free after, readying some TIE Fighters. No, I really don't. They're 50 cents.
What world is that?
All
A
right,
good card?
Turbo Laser
Yeah,
Salvo.
are we saying 1 cent on that one too? I think that one is literally less than 50 cents.
1 cent.
I
We're
don't.
calling
I
it
would
now,
not
folks.
buy that card. I don't think I would even
calling it
pay
now.
1 cent for that card.
Yeah, but you
I
have to
wanna
take
give
into
mine to
consideration
somebody.
the people that want to complete a playset without opening packs.
Okay, fair. Yeah. Okay.
I'll still go with 1 cent.
Alright.
We'll give them an easy one.
Well, AoE is so hard to find in this game. A friendly space
this card's
unit
nuts.
deals damage equal to each enemy in an arena. I've had this card played on me already. It is pretty devastating. It does require another card out, which can be tough, especially in a Star Destroyer deck that's like just slamming one thing at a time. But the thing is, this is so powerful, and the decks that do want to play it are going to play 3. So I think that this is an $8 card. I think this is could creep up to 10 if the Piet decks get really, really big, especially right off the bat.
Just
These
a
prices
Piet
are just
card.
like guesses for the
Are
beginning.
you playing this outside of a Piet deck?
Maybe, I don't know.
I mean, I guess in a piloting deck, it's fine because you're
you flip your leader onto something and then
it's a big beefy thing that you can just deal a bunch of damage to stuff.
But Mike doesn't think that you're going to be flipping your leader on anything because it's just going to die. So
that's fair.
Maybe it's not realistic. Maybe, yeah, just some other big space deck. I don't know.
I'm gonna go with 801. I think
Like,
this is more than that.
If Boba Green was still a thing, would it play this card? Like just off of a fire spray? Probably not.
Not in my opinion. I mean, you're wanting to win that turn.
Yeah, you need to be playing some kind of like slower, like grindy, like big stuff deck.
Yeah.
So,
like Piet, I think it works super well because it's like you ramp, you flip, you play a big giant dude, and then the next turn you just play
blow
this.
everything up. Well, he flips on 5 too, so you've got to like keep your dudes around.
Sure.
Well, I guess yeah, you can ramp too. Yeah, I don't know. Some kind of ramp deck this probably fits in, but yeah, I don't know.
But they're like a lot of these legendaries
How much are we saying
fluctuate, especially in the competitive market, based on what's good in the meta.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be more than that.
Darth Vader.
I like it.
I guess this is a nice ECL target, but like it only hits for 7. Kylo hits for 8, kills 8 health leaders. The piloting ability is pretty bad. It's a high cost. This is just not a good card, but because it's Darth Vader, I'm going to give it $2.
Oh, hold on. It's definitely 201. Definitely 201. No doubt in my mind. That's more than $2.
Are we just like assuming that piloting is not a thing that you're going to do?
Early, probably. I think people will just play Confiscate.
Yeah.
Like, because everyone's going to be playing piloting decks. But I think once people filter off of piloting decks and they start playing Piet or they start playing whatever, I think this card is sick in Django. Absolutely bonkers. I think this is a sweet legendary. I mean, you're already playing 3-cost Fallen Lightsaber, 3-cost Jedi Lightsaber. Like, why is this different than that? If you're just going the space route, like, just have a bunch of 2-cost space units in your deck and you slap this on it on the following turn. Like, yeah, don't play into Power the Dark Side. Don't play into Confiscate if you think your opponent's running that. But like, I don't know. I don't think it's any different than Jedi Lightsaber or Fallen Lightsaber.
Yeah, I think I agree there actually. Like the flexibility is
Oh yeah.
still nice. Like if you expect that your opponent's playing around your your piloting stuff, he's still a 6 cost 7/7 like force unit, which is I don't know. Like it's not that exciting. The fact that he has a blank text box is kind of sad.
It's exciting if you eject this and you have
Yeah,
a 7/7
got the 7/7 kill in there. So I do
on
like that
turn
part.
3.
Yeah, I like Darth Vader. I'm
I
gonna
don't
stick
think
up for
this is
Darth
worse than
Vader.
Kylo.
I think as an ECL target, he's worse than Kylo. But
Sure,
I think outside of that, they're similar. Maybe I think they're very different. If you have a lot of ships and you have the ability to put this on a ship and get value out of it, then maybe it's better. But Kylo's ability can be really good. But
Yeah.
we're obviously saying 201 here.
Oh, 100%. This is the one take so far that I don't agree with.
This is just not a good card, but because it's Darth Vader, I'm going to give it $2. All right. This is an
one of the ones
absolute
I
bomb.
opened.
This is the first card that
Oh,
we've seen
yeah.
in this legendary list that we're going to buy 3 of right off the bat.
$33.
So
That's pretty expensive.
Holy crap.
What other legendaries are that expensive?
Uh
Are there any?
I mean,
there must
maybe
be, right?
not anymore.
Yeah, I'm gonna filter price high to low real quick.
That one used to
On
have
TCG player.
Vader, I think, is still somewhere around there.
Vader was $20 last time I checked.
Falcon was like $30 when I last checked.
Okay, Luke is 35.
Okay.
Is that the most expensive one? That's actually kind of insane. Why is Luke the most expensive one?
There's a lot of hero blue decks that run Luke.
Huh. Okay. Yeah, Luke is the most expensive one. And then
I
Poe
mean, he's
at
a gas
30.
card.
He
Thinks he's gonna be as good as Poe
and Luke. So it's at that level. Vader's 31. So there's our frame of reference.
we want 3 Devastators. We're going to pay $100 for them probably. This is what I'm buying. I'm opening my 2 boxes, and if I don't get any Devastators, I'm opening a third, and then I'm buying the rest.
It's an 8
Yeah, this is
cost
gonna-
9/6 that you get to just deal 4 damage to something.
Yeah.
And then if you're playing Piet, it's 6 cost.
Right. Which is disgusting. Like it is kind of a bomb. It also like triple dark raid is a card.
Yep.
And you can get this out turn 6?
1 turn sooner than Avenger, which is
Or turn
harder to
5?
do, as you know.
Yeah. Yep. So you can get this out when you have 5 resources and hit your opponent for a total of 13 damage.
Yeah, it's kind of gross.
That's disgusting. So yeah, crazy card.
Is there because that stacks with Piet. Like, do you play Piet yellow and just like get this out and like
well, no, because then you'd be 3 colors.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. And Twin Suns, yes. All right.
It'd be good in a ton of decks, and it's the Cad Bane of the set, only even better because it's going to go in a bunch of different.
I'm gonna go with
Jango
1
Fett,
cent.
whatever you want to play.
33 is expensive.
You're going with 1 cent?
Yeah, I don't think it'll be.
I buy that. I agree. It still costs 8. Like if you're not playing triple dark raid nonsense, it's still expensive.
Profundity, everyone who knows me knows that this is my card right here, but it is a niche sideboard card, and it's really only going to be good if hero control gets good. I don't even know if we would necessarily play this over Crate Dragon, but because it can discard 2 cards in hand, it's kind of cute. It's got Overwhelm. It's super expensive. I guess it's a little bit better with they hate that ship, that ramp spaceship card, especially since it has Overwhelm, so it can bust through those TIE fighters that card creates. I still think this is only $2.
I don't know. I don't think
I could see
that good.
I think that it is good if a hero control deck pops up.
Right.
Which we haven't really seen yet, but we've seen like hints of it with like Mace as a red hero leader. It's like for some reason red hero is like both hard control and super aggro.
Yeah,
which
really
kind of doesn't make sense to me. But this is
and also mid range.
What about this is aggressive?
Yeah,
as an aggression card. But I honestly, if this card is like $2 or less, this might be a good one to pick up in anticipation of a good red hero control deck because it seems like they're trying to push it.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think it could potentially at some point be good. I think it's really only in like control matchups, probably
Yeah, yeah. So
control versus control.
definitely niche, but yeah, could be good in the future. But I agree with this price guess here. Do we think it's
Playing
above or
against
below 2?
Palpatine, it would be good.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'll go with 201.
Okay.
Above $2. Yeah, I'll go with that.
Okay.
It's a legendary.
Just barely.
Like, yeah.
If there's
for
some
now.
combo with they hate that ship and profundity, that this could bump up to like a $6 legendary. Shadowcaster, I
$1.
guess, is a niche Thrawn card because it double triggers when defeated abilities, but like it doesn't have one itself. So in a Thrawn deck, do we really want to pay 6 to like then find a way to trigger our when defeated? So I just don't think this card's good. The stats aren't good for a 6-drop. I mean, it's fine 4/7. Like we play 4/6s in Ruthless Raider, but that card has 2 triggers that do damage. So I don't know. I'm pretty low on this card. $1. That's probably generous. This might be a coaster.
What do you think about that one, Coach? You were currently muted.
Trash. Yeah, I think I agree. Like, I think we talked about this in the spoiler recap, and it just like it coming out on this is something that you want to come out early, not on 6. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you want it to come out before your when defeated's come out and like stick around while you're getting. So like you want it to be like a 2 cost like 0/6 or something like that, or 2 cost 1/6 that your opponent doesn't really want to deal with, but they like feel like they have to, and you're not putting that much of an investment into it, and it's a bonus for you if it sticks, but you don't have to play a 6 resource 4/7 ship to do it.
The stats aren't that insane for a 6 cost. Like,
Yeah, you can't.
it is
I
a
mean,
transport, which we got all that transport synergy this set. But yeah, I'm not hyped.
like if there's a really sick like 5 cost card that has a good when defeated, maybe you play this and then kill it yourself. But it also, even doing that, requires your opponent to have something to like run your thing into.
Yeah,
I'm sad, but I think this is right.
I'm gonna go with that 1 cent. I'm gonna go under his $1. I think he's been generous, like you said.
Yeah,
That's probably generous. This might be a coaster.
See?
yeah.
All right, Planetary Bombardment is the other bomb. I think just like Turbo Laser Salvo, this is a little more niche, but its combination with Devastator and the other ramp Superstar Destroyer, not Superstar Destroyers, but capital ships, makes this card really strong. It's a 12 burn card. I'm going to put it at $14 because I think people are going to want it right off the bat. This is a card I'm going to buy 3 of right when the set drops.
Yeah, I think that card is insane. Like, if you get Devastator on board, like this is a win
12
condition.
base, 100%.
This is a win condition. Like, you have to remove Devastator or you lose, kind of thing.
It only costs 6 too.
I know.
Like there are some pretty cheap capital ships now,
Mm-hmm.
and just dropping this and not having Devastator on board and just making your opponent spread 12 damage.
I mean, Outlaw Corona is
gross.
a capital ship.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah.
You can definitely get that 12 damage trigger easy.
Yeah. This card's gnarly.
I agree. Yeah, I think this is a sweet card.
Yeah. I think this is like more. I think this is a 1401.
1401.
I think
Big
people
call.
are. I think people look like generally card gamers look at a card like this and be like, yes, I want to do that.
Okay.
So
okay.
I think people are gonna be going after this card to try and play
1401. I'm down. I'm with it.
That's my guess.
Mike called it.
Right off the bat, this is a card I'm going to buy 3 of right when the set drops. Invincible is kind of interesting because in any Separatist deck, it costs 5, which, Separatist leader deck, which makes a 5-drop 6/6 pretty strong. And then it works with Admiral Trench, where when you deploy a leader, you can return a non-leader unit that costs 3 or less to its owner's hand. So with Trench, you always get basically like a clear the field with, or like, I guess Well, whatever. You bounce something that costs cheap when you deploy Trench. But I don't think that deck is going to necessarily be good. It could be. There could be someone who breaks it. So I'm going to put this around $5 because it has some potential, and it's overstated for its cost when you have a Separatist Lead.
Yeah, I mean, I think like Dooku and Piet are both want this card as well.
Yeah.
Dooku
I think a lot
can
of
play this turn
Dooku
too.
stands out there too that
You-
want
you-
Dooku to be good.
Yeah, yeah. Like a 6/6 ship on turn 2 is disgusting, right? Like,
Yeah.
who thinks that's bad?
It goes so well in these triple dark raid decks. Like,
Mhm.
I think this is good.
I think
I'll
this
go
is 501. Yeah, same,
Yeah,
same.
I'm there with you.
All right, we're ramping up the speed here because
Yeah, we're
we-
taking a little too long on this
We're-
reaction
we're on
video.
borrowed
I'm going
time.
to put this around $5 because it has some potential, and it's overstated for its cost when you have a Separatist Lead.
Agreed.
Han is a
Han
mid-main
Solo.
character. His pilot ability is okay. He's got like the same
Mid-main
stats as Bosk,
character.
who's like a pretty decent ambush uncommon, but that's mainly because of his game text. This upgrade piloting ability with the Falcon is pretty cool. I put this at a $10 card because I think people are going to play it, but I think you're going to find like yourself cutting this from decks. And while people will grab 3 just in case it's good because the Millennium Falcon cards are so good, I don't expect this to see a lot of play. And
I
Yeah, I
think it goes into a Millennium Falcon deck and no other deck.
And that's pretty much it. Yeah, I mean,
And
I
that's-
don't really have a strong opinion on this one. If you don't play Millennium
Oh
Falcon,
wait,
you're
hold
not
on. No,
playing
this
deck.
is in the OP packs. There's no way this is gonna be $10.
Well, we don't know how with the frequency of how, you know, like we don't
Just
know
the
poll
fact that
rate.
it's in the OP packs brings us down.
Yeah, but if it's like 1 in 100, yeah, it still does. Okay, all right.
Look at the Mace Windu card. cost.
0.01. Well, nobody plays Mace Windu.
Yeah, but I mean, he's fringe playable.
If that was
And-
Vader instead, do you think it would like
I think it would.
lower the value of Vader?
Yeah.
Okay.
So many of those Mace Windu cards are given out.
Yeah.
All right.
I won't be buying these.
I think it'll be cheaper than
Home one,
$10.
it's a new sideboard card. The thing is, like, we have to know our opponent wants to play more ships than us. And then, like, even if they do we really want to pay 6 for a 7/8 ambush? I don't think so. I'm going to say this is a $2 card, but
Okay, the only reason I disagree here is if you play the card that gives them 2 TIE fighters or whatever, and it costs less. Or no, yeah,
They hate that ship. They
Yeah,
hate that ship.
you do that one. It gives them 2 TIE fighters. If they have even 1 space unit, this now costs 4 less, I think. Right.
Mhm.
So that's pretty good. Or does it cost 5 less? Maybe it costs 5 less.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 less.
So you get a 7/8 ambush on your 4 resource turn 3. That seems pretty gross.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
yeah, I'd rather play the other home one.
I'll go with
All right,
201.
stolen 18
same.
hauler. This is a bomb with a huge drawback. I think it's
I think this
possible.
card's nuts.
You know, even if your opponent steals it, you can do things like bounce it back to hand. You can kill it and
I
get it
got
back.
to reveal
So I
this
think people are going to
card.
play it. I think its drawback is going to hold its price back a little.
I
This
had
is a
no
card
idea what
you
to
right off
say
the bat.
about it.
Well, it's good in Kaz, which wasn't revealed when you did the reveal.
That's fair. That's fair.
And then, yeah, I don't know. Cad Bane, maybe? Like,
Is it going to be
Underworld
$18
card?
though? I'll go with 1 cent.
1 cent? Okay.
Because I think it'll just
the
be less
stats are just
amazing.
so good. If
Yeah.
if Yellow Boba was still the thing, this would go in that deck, I think. Like, is that kind of card.
Mhm,
Just like a
mhm.
double yellow tempo card that lets you, like you play freaking Swoop Racer in that, in that deck at the beginning. Like, this is
You know what?
This is way
I think Kaz is going to be played like crazy. So I will say, because people are going to want this in their Kaz decks,
Yeah.
I'll go with 1801.
all right. I'm on board.
I changed my mind.
Putting it about $18. It's going to go in several decks. Radiant 7. I actually think this card is like kind of
Trash card.
powerful. Everyone's really sleeping
Yeah.
on it because the art is so bad. It's
Powerful.
really expensive for its stats, but I kind of love what it does. I just wish that was on a more utilitist card. But I'm going to put this at $2, a little bit better than.
Okay, I need to read this card again. Each enemy non-leader gets -1/-0 for each damage on it. Oh, okay, so you can just play. I don't know. Like, you just hit your opponent's stuff. They have damage on them, and they don't deal damage to you back. That is inherently pretty powerful.
At 7?
No, I think it's definitely too expensive.
At 5 in Piet?
Maybe that's not the worst. If you're playing Piet already with yellow, you can do this on his flip turn.
I feel like that's the only deck this is going in.
Yeah, probably. I think $2 is generous.
I think the artwork sucks.
The
I think
artwork is so bad on
I think
this
he
one.
mentioned that. I agree.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
All right, roll the tape.
All right.
And some posters up there. Death Star plans. This is strong.
I think he had the decimal in the wrong place here on this one, actually.
Yeah, it was
this must have been an error.
$100.
We can probably skip this one, right? And just assume that he meant $100.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree.
all right,
Skip
cool.
it.
All right, perfect.
It just got spoiled right before I was going to record this. It is absolutely bonkers. It's
Oh,
really
yeah,
expensive, but it's a
Starhawk.
6/9 with
crazy nuts.
ambush. While paying cost, you pay half as many resources rounded up. That works for everything.
Okay,
What's cool
this is the
is-
Endless Legions card.
Endless Legions card for sure. You can also play this in Piet and just pay 9 for it, and then now all your stuff's gonna cost like
That's
way
pretty
less.
sweet. I like it.
I think that's an interesting thing.
That's pretty sick.
Everything. Piling, upgrades, smuggle with tech. Everything is cut in half. That leads to some absolutely crazy setups. However, it has to be on the field for this to work. So
Yeah,
you got
you
to keep it
can't
alive.
build
It's gonna be able to
around
kill
this,
instant
I
rounds
don't
for any of your
think.
opponents. But this has such high potential that I think this is going to start as a $12 card. And if someone cracks this, this will jump up to a $25 card. So I like this as a buy, especially if
with
you can get it around $10 or
1201.
less. Because if it ever does spike, it is going to spike
1201.
hard. But I
I'm gonna take the gamble.
I think it's going to start off lower. I think it could go higher, but I feel like it's going to start off lower.
Well, at what point
But
are we gonna check the value
get-
of these cards?
Let's say
like-
a week after.
1 week?
Okay,
you gotta
two
give like
days
2
after.
weeks.
2 weeks? Okay, fine.
Yeah.
2 weeks after.
Yeah.
Maybe. Okay, you know what? I think you're right. I think it's because similar to that burn card, people also love ramp.
Yeah, and they love cards like this.
All right, we get the last couple legendaries in while I was recording. So adding this on,
I
we got
love
double blue,
all
4
the
cost, 3/5
free
shielded,
marketing we're
Hondo.
getting in KTOD videos.
Yeah, that's right. I should give him a logo. Like,
yeah, just put unplayable coaster. We use our logo right there.
50 cents for Hondo Onaka.
I think this guy's way better than that.
I kind of do too. Let's hear what Mike has to say.
What's his
about
thoughts?
Onaka on attack. 91 blade, take control of a non-pilot upgrade and attach it to a different eligible unit. This is not the hero double blue needed. It's an unplayable coaster, 50-cent card. And
it.
then
Okay, that
He
was
didn't
it.
really have anything to say.
Yeah. Double blue to 4 cost 3/5 shielded. That can be good in certain, like, in some decks just on its own sometimes. I don't know. Like, it's not the worst, but if you get to attack, it really it's metagame dependent, right? Because you want to be able to steal an upgrade, and if people aren't playing upgrades, then it's kind of useless. But the thing that I think is cool about this is, like, you can play this in a deck with something like Lom Pike, where, like, you're giving your opponent a shield and then you get to steal the shield back.
Mhm.
Maybe that's too cute and, like, not actually that good, but it sounds fun.
I think stealing shields in general is just like insane. Like if your opponent's playing any deck that has shields in it and you're able to steal that shield, you're stealing so much value.
Yeah. 51 cents for sure.
Yeah, 100%. 51 cents.
I don't know how much more than that, but it seems better than a coaster.
this is not the hero double blue needed. It's an unplayable coaster, 50-cent card. And then the real kick is
Oh
double
yeah,
command. Got
the
Okay.
worst version of attack pattern delta.
I don't totally hate this card. I think if you get to 6 resources and you have like 4 units on the board, you just win.
Yeah,
Because how much damage is that?
and then they evacuate.
16 damage? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, yeah, if you set it up, you're having to play double green, which is like, in my
which is
opinion, one of the worst.
double aspect cards. Yeah.
2, you're having to stick at how many units do you have to have on board? 3 different.
3 at the very least.
3 different named units minimum
Mm-hmm.
to make a 6-cost card work, and they don't have to not be removed after you play this for you to get value, right?
It's niche,
I think it's terrible.
but I don't think it's as bad as that. I don't know.
Okay, so say you don't even have to have say you have 3 units on board on your, it's your flip turn or something.
Yep.
And you're able to stick 3 units, including your leader. Everything gets +3/+3, and they're able to remove 1 of your units. It's 6 value worth 6 resources.
If they have, if that's what you need to kill them, then yeah. I don't know.
I'd rather play attack pattern delta. It gives you around the same amount of value.
Yeah.
For way less cost.
Yeah. All right. Was that the last
absolutely
one?
no help. This is worse than attack pattern delta. Legendary.
Okay, yeah, that was the last one. He readjusted his Han Solo.
Okay,
Yes,
sneaky. Retrospect.
All right.
I think that's everything.
Yeah, we gotta close this out. Yep. We gotta close this out because I gotta bounce. But I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope this was entertaining for you guys.
Thanks,
And
Bobby,
yeah, thanks, Mike,
for
for
the
letting
content.
us
Free content.
steal this without even asking you. So yeah, if you guys haven't watched KTOD, what the heck are you doing? Go, watch their channel, subscribe to their channel, and see you guys on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.